Hi, decided from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today's book is Pluto and the Adventure of the Golden Scepter from 1972. So let's get started. Marty Mouse threw a stick high into the air. With a happy bark, Pluto ran and chased it before it touched the ground. Here comes another one, called Marty. But then he stopped, letting the stick drop from his hand. They had been playing in the courtyard of Cinderella Castle, and now from deep within the castle they could hear the sound of someone crying. Puzzled, Maudie and Pluto slipped through the mighty archways and up a shallowly, windy stairway. The stairway led them into the throne room, where they found the king. He was very unhappy because his golden scepter was missing. A king must have a scepter, he cried. It is the thing that shows he is the king. I can't hold court without it. He sadly shook his head. Don't worry, said Marty. Pluto is good at finding things. You'll track it down, won't you, boy? Much to Marty's surprise, Pluto lowered his head and looked worried. Perhaps he doesn't know what a specter is, suggested the king. Well, said Marty, it looks like a stick. And you know what a stick is, Pluto. Only it isn't a stick, added the king. Find a stick that isn't a stick, thought Pluto. Well, he certainly would try. Out of the castle he ran, with Marty close behind. On Main Street, Pluto looked for a stick that might be the king's specter. Perhaps this is it, he thought as he picked up something from a bench. But put that down, Pluto, scolded Mickey Mouse. He was dressed in a bright red uniform with shiny brass buttons. That's the baton that I used to lead the band. We're looking for the king's specter, Mickey, explained Marty. Well, why don't you look in the Liberty Square, suggested Mickey, and away he marched, waving his baton. Pluto hurried on. 9 o'clock, and all is well, called Donald Duck, Liberty Square town crier. Then he changed his mind. 5 o'clock after 9, and all is not well. He sputtered and when he sputtered, Pluto tried to pull his walking stick away from him. Poor Pluto had made another mistake, and it wasn't his last. In Tomorrowland, what he thought was the specter turned out to be the riding crop Minnie Mouse carried. Minnie Mouse was a tour guide, and she held the crop high in the air so that visitors was able to follow her much easily. Later, Pluto was certain Goofy would hide in the specter until Marty explained it was a stick used for picking up scrap papers. And when Pluto tried to grab the fairy godmother magic wand, she almost turned him into a pumpkin. Marty hastily apologized for him, and they hurried on their way once more. They had searched nearly all Walt Disney World when, tired and discouraged, they finally came to Adventureland. It's no use, admitted Marty. We had failed. The king will be disappointed. I don't know what's troubling you, fellow, said a friendly voice, but I'm sure a jungle cruise will cheer you up. Weirdly, Marty and Pluto followed the jungle explorer guide to a Adventureland boat. It was clear, however, that Marty had little interest in the ride. As their boat started down the windy river, he didn't even look up as the jungle closed in surrounding them. With trees and with jungle sounds, monkey chattered, lion roared, elephant trumpet, and a dog barking. A dog barking? That isn't a jungle sound, said Marty, looking around in surprise. The barking dog was Pluto, and the reason he was barking was that he had found the golden specter. At last, there on the river bank stood an elephant. His trunk was firmly wrapped around the specter, and he was using it as a back scratcher. Marty could hardly believe his eyes. How did you get that specter? He demanded. I flew into the castle, found it laying on a table, a voice answered. The voice came from a red, blue, and green parrot in a nearby tree. My elephant friend was so hot and dusty that he needed it, and so I got it for him. But the king need that specter too, said Marty. You shouldn't have taken it. And how would you suggest that my friend remain comfortable here in the jungle? Retorted the parrot, roughening his feather. It was clear that he was ready to argue all day. Suddenly, Marty noticed that Pluto was pointing upstream and whispering something to the elephant. Much to the surprise of Marty and the parrot, the elephant gave Pluto the specter and splashed eagerly into the river and began to swim away. The pilot of the jungle boat turned his craft around and followed the elephant. He was curious to see what was happening. Soon they came to a spot where a waterfall trembled and splashed over a rock, making a giant shower bath. Blue had noticed this spot from the boat, and he knew it was just the thing for a hot, dusty elephant. And the elephant, why, he enjoyed that shower so much that he stayed there ever after. He had now the most concrete elephant in the cleanest too in the whole jungle. Marty was delighted as he followed Pluto up the stairs of Cinderella Castle to return the specter, and the king was even more delighted to receive it. But prouder and happiest of all was Pluto for his first official act of the day and the recognition of the great service Pluto had performed. The king dubbed Pluto a roaring knight of the Golden Spectre. So that was Pluto and the adventure of the Golden Spectre from 1972. If you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.